from a distance I thought Pirates was down, but nope, only 5 minutes on this as well. Approximate wait time for Splash, 5 minutes. Same goes for Winnie. Wow, that's a really quick poo. Sometimes to be very clever, they will place a number 13 here, but not even enough for that. Only 5. There are a few folks making their way in, but take a gander at this beautiful sight. Not too shabby.
Good Monday morning, afternoon, evening. Welcome to this edition of Madman with the Show. I'm your host, Zane. Are you ready for this very, very short week as we got a holiday coming up on Thursday? We have 4th of July on Thursday. So this is pretty much going to be a short week for all of us, including us here at Q to Cast. But we'll tell that a little bit later on there. One thing that's been going on in a lot of people have been talking about. It's on the West Coast, and it's going to be starting to come on the East Coast as soon as it opens up there. We're hearing a lot of things about the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge park that is opened up in Disneyland in California. It opened up to, the previews opened up to record crowds. It was like to the point where it's just insanely long lines. From what I understand, the Cantina service wasn't that great from some of the bloggers that have been talking about it online. There have been some things here and there that have been they need to tweak. They've run out of a lot of the souvenirs. A lot of the souvenirs that everybody's looking for, like the crystals. They're pretty much, you can't find them at the park at the moment. Some of the lightsabers you can't find, and some of the other items, some of the stuff for the make your own droid. But here's the big thing that is happening, and we're going to show a little bit of footage, as you saw a little bit in the beginning there, from some of the other YouTube creators out there, and I do recommend to go visit them, subscribe to them, like their video, as much as we tell you to like this one here as well. What we're seeing not record numbers, but low numbers. Now, during the preview of Galaxy's Edge, there was big numbers in Disneyland, in the parks, and Galaxy's Edge as well. Like I said, just to get on the Smuggler's Run ride, I think it was over 2 hours. I think it was at one point. Now, a couple of people like the Daily Woo. I love his content. He's very, very good. He was in the park right before the weekend, and basically he was in Disneyland, and it was like empty. I mean, there were people there. It's not like it was deserted or anything. I mean, you had a good amount of people, but you got to remember, this week is 4th of July. Okay, the kids are out. Places like California, Florida, some of the other states, the kids have already been out for quite some time now. Like school will be going back in August in most of these states. I mean, where I'm at, it's September. The kids go back to school. But in other places, it's August. So basically, we're well into the summer vacations in places like California. And basically, when you look at some of this footage from Ordinary Adventures, Daily Woo, Provost Park Pass, I mean, Geeks and Gamers has even talked about this. We're seeing that even though there are people in the park, the lines are not as... I mean, the Daily Woo says he was there that day, and he was showing it. It was like 5 minutes to get on this ride, 5 minutes to get on that ride, 20 minutes on this. I mean, on the average, I would have to say, according to, like, the Daily Woo, he went during the week... about 5 to 30 minutes a ride. He didn't go to Galaxy's Edge, but from the video you see, I mean, even on the tram ride back to the car, it's empty. The parking lots were empty. Not saying the parks were empty, but it was pretty much easy to get on something. I mean, that is just totally insane right now. And then, you have someone like, I believe it was Ordinary Adventures, who went into the park. I think so did Provost. Into Galaxy's Edge, and you saw there was a good amount of people on there. But one of them was on a Saturday, and you saw between 35 to 55 minutes on the average just to get on the Smuggler's Run. You were able to get reservations at the Cantina very easily. One of them said the service was much better than during the preview days. They said the service was very lousy. And like I said before, there's a lot of stuff that was missing as far as souvenirs, collectibles, shirts, and stuff like that. A lot of the big stuff, certain lightsabers were missing. The cubes and stuff like that they were out of stock on, which I don't think they anticipated people to pay, because you had a lot of the big fans did show up on the closed events prior to the main opening last week, and what you saw was that they were buying stuff up like crazy. I mean, you've seen stuff on YouTube where they show how they took apart things, and things were really cool. How they built their little droids, and that was fun. I mean, that's a fun thing. If you could build your own lightsaber, you could. I mean, even though it's $200 to build a lightsaber at Galaxy's Edge, I mean, it is kind of worth it to have that fun to do it, get that on there, and the blades are interchangeable, which is fun. You can just change out the little device, or if you break it, you can get a replacement for it. But nevertheless, you have a situation. Why is it so empty? And you could throw this in several different categories. And the first, I think, because you've seen a massive increase in pricing at the theme parks. Now, on tonight's show, I did speak with somebody at the 8 o'clock slot. You'll see it on the American Asylum. I spoke to my guest that I'm having on tonight. In fact, I'm having a guest on tonight's show at 8. Basically, they said that it's steady over there, even during the rainy days. It's I know they're supposed to open up Galaxy's Edge on Disney World on the end of August, but still the crowds are still very steady. Now, the pricing, I would have to say, you're up on an average about 20%, depending on which ticket you're buying. I mean, some of the lower tickets are in the low percentile increases. The main big ones, the multi-passes and stuff like that, multi-day passes, have gone up way, way up. But from what I've noticed in the last couple of days or so, and I think Disney has noticed this too, is that basically since that they're not getting the high volume of attendance, they've thrown some pricing specials at the park attendants. So basically, hopefully that'll beef them up. But I think they have to look at several other perspectives. And the other perspective is, besides the pricing, is does the people like the park? Now, Galaxy's Edge is only partially open. There is still another ride to come out. I think it's Rise of the Resistance. That still hasn't opened yet. They are still testing whatever that ride is. I'm not certain what it is. That hasn't opened up, and I think that had put a little bit of dismay on certain people that everything wasn't open. The other half, and I think a lot of people are disappointed with the park as well. And you hear it on YouTube and on a lot of the message boards and Twitter, that basically they spent all this money on the park and they mostly threw the new order in. And I mean, there are some sections of there. You see sections of the old movie. Of course, you have the Millennium Falcon right dead center. But I think mostly what a lot of people wanted to see was a lot of the older movies incorporated in here. Like the Cantina. Why couldn't it have been the Cantina from Los Eisley? And basically some of the segments from Los Eisley. And why haven't we gotten Stormtroopers and not the New Order troopers instead? And why don't we have Darth Maul instead of Kylo Ren? You have all this, overall, the Star Wars movies aren't doing well at all. I could say, yeah, they are doing a bit of a dumpster fire. I mean, Clone Wars, fantastic. It's coming back, and I think that's going to put some new excitement into there. You have Episode 9 coming. Don't know how that's going to be. I mean, the last two movies weren't that great. I mean, actually, last 3 movies, was it? 2 or 3 movies? Yeah, 3 movies weren't so great. Rogue One was very good. I mean, they could have incorporated Rogue One into the park, but it looks like they didn't. They could have also put Clone Wars or basically the Rebels TV series incorporated into here as well, but they didn't. I mean, there are little segments, little things here and there, little pieces that you, if you catch it, it is from that. But also, you know, when you have the movies not doing so well, even though you have a big TV series coming, The Mandalorian's coming, which looks great, you know, why did Disney go with this? I mean, I know they're trying to say they want to keep it updated. I mean, you have Star Tours is still available. And in fact, lines at Star Tours in Disneyland are running low lines also. But to have it this way, I think a lot of people are disappointed. The other half, which is nothing to do with Disney, and it has nothing to do with Star Wars or anything like that, and I think this is another piece of it, and I think it is multiple pieces that's causing this, is what's going on, the political atmosphere on the West Coast. I think that's also affecting some of the tourism. I'm not saying majorly, but it's affecting a good amount. I mean, when you're hearing stories out of the West Coast, whereas you have a very big homeless population. I don't know what it is near Anaheim. I have to look that up. I don't know if it's as bad as downtown LA, Hollywood, San Francisco, San Diego. Whereas basically you have a large amount of homeless there. San Francisco, I mean, you have a crap patrol picking up crap and stuff like that. You're hearing that there are diseases that are lingering there. You're seeing some of the worst diseases, measles, rubella. I mean, you're hearing typhoid. Some people are even, one of the TV doctors saying, we're talking Black Plague out here possibly because there is a rat problem. Now, is that affecting Disney? It could be a possibility because any bad press to come out of any area, and we're learning this from the report from the Dominican Republic with all the people that have died mysteriously, that's starting to affect their tourism. So when you're seeing something of this nature, when you're hearing the problems that are going on in California, and then of course you have the illegal immigration crisis that's going on as well, I think there is a percentage. How big of a percentage? It's hard to say. The only one that can say that right now, and we haven't heard anything from the Travel Agents Association as far as that. We'll probably get something maybe after the end of the summer when they give the final tallies on how the summer vacation did. I mean, we have 4th of July this week on a Thursday, and like I said, the Daily Woo basically said there was nobody here during the week hardly. It was 5 minutes to get on a ride, 5 minutes to get on the Matterhorn and all the other rides, all the big rides. Whereas about several weeks ago, just to get on a Small World was over an hour. So, you know, it's amazing how some of this stuff happens. You know, you kind of expect some of this to happen, you know, the disappointments. Some people have predicted it with Galaxy's Edge. We'll see what happens when it opens up in August here on the East Coast. I mean, you have the new Hagrid ride, that motorcycle roller coaster on the Harry Potter section at Universal Studios, and it's doing very, very, very good. Supposedly, the line wraps around for hours. Supposedly, last I heard, I think the last queue line was 3.5 to 5 hours long. Supposedly, now I have to get a confirmation on that. But basically, they said long lines at Universal in the Harry Potter section. And, you know, when you see that on the East Coast and you don't see big lines on a new park on the West Coast, you got to throw a lot of things into play. So, comment below. Tell me what you think. Do you live on the West Coast? Have you been in Disneyland in the last couple of days? Please tell me down there. Discuss with me. tell me, what's going on. Are the people that are reporting this wrong? Because, it's from what we see, there is a reduction in attendance. I mean, is this just a minor hiccup just for this past week? Maybe some people were waiting off. Are they waiting for the other ride to kick open so they'll finally go there? I mean, what's it going to be like? Because technically, we are at full stream. We're on full summer vacation right now. And the attendance is not where it's supposed to be. Don't forget, we are on Minds and Gab.com. We are also available on BitChute. If you don't happen to see a particular video we uploaded one day and it's gone, you'll find our current videos available on BitChute. Sign up there. You can subscribe, hit notifications as well there. Also, subscribe here. Thank you to those who have subscribed, liked, and share our programs. We thank you, especially welcome to the new. We had a small bit of a jump. I'm hoping that we're going to be 3 digits this week. Hopefully, cross fingers. But it seems like my numbers keep going up, down, and we're thinking this is something that YouTube is playing around with. Because basically it's 1 minute they're there, they're not, then they're back. So, we have to look into this. And also, those who have supported us, Teespring on teespring.com, on Streamlabs, and if you have given something on BitChute, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Remember, if you do give money or buy one of our t-shirts to support us, that goes right back into programming to bring you shows like this and America Asylum, which tonight, let me tell you something. There are only going to be 2 Man with the shows today. It's going to be the 5 o'clock and the 10 o'clock show at 8 p.m. tonight. It's not a live show. It will be a lengthy show. We will be doing a American Asylum special. We will be discussing what happened at Seattle, Portland, with the Andy No situation on there. Also, special guest tonight is a radio producer from down south, Thomas Cicerillo, will be sitting with us discussing a little bit about news media in the radio business, how the radio business has been suffering. What is the future for radio? We're going to discuss a little bit about that on tonight's episode. So tune in. We'll have it up at 8. We're trying to get all these shows up and on there. Also, this will be a short week. We will be only working on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Since 4th of July is on a Thursday, we will not be airing any shows there. We'll be back again on Monday. We're going to take the whole weekend off. We might throw another America Asylum special during the week on there, possibly. Depends on who we can get. So, remember, subscribe, like, support, share. Do tune in at 8 for American Asylum. And at 10 p.m. for the next edition of Man with a Show. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting, liking, subscribing, support, all that jazz. We'll see you on the rebound. We'll see you at 8. And we'll see you back at 10.